Hey YouTube, I'm Jess. Welcome to a new video. I love me some Patrick Ta makeup. He does amazing simple looks that are still creative and really flattering, especially around the eyes. I found this picture of Dixie D'Amelio a while ago and it's just been like stuck in my head. I've been really wanting to recreate it. So that's what we're gonna do today. If you guys are interested in seeing me recreate this Patrick Ta makeup look, then just keep watching the video. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my eye makeup. I have a lot of darkness around my eyes, as you can see, underneath and on top. So before I go in with any eyeshadow, I like to just take a little bit of concealer and conceal just on top of my lids a little bit. I'm using the Hourglass Vanish Concealer, which I just picked up recently and I used in a video for the first time last week. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it across the top. And I'll put a link in the description box down below if you want to see me try it out for the first time. And then I'm going to prime with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. So there are definitely eyeshadow primers out there that would do both of these steps. Like they have pigment in them, so they would conceal and prime the eye for eyeshadow, but this one is not one of them. So that's why I do the two steps. Okay, so the star of this look is definitely her eyeliner, but she does have a little bit of shadow on. Eyeshadow looks super simple. I'm just gonna start off with this kind of creamy matte shade right here. Start with that on my inner corner here, kind of bring it up into this part of my eye, and then just blend it out across the rest of my lid. And then it looks like she has this warm, reddy toned, kind of mid-tone brown on the outside of her lid, but not like smoked up or out at all, just to add a little bit of definition on the outside of her eyelid. So I think I'm gonna take this color right here. Kind of not the perfect shade, but I don't really... Actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna take this color on this side, this like warm reddy brown, and I'm gonna mix in a little bit of this chocolatey brown over here and just kind of mix those two colors together, and hopefully that just looks like the darker color. Just gonna pat that on the outer corner here. Then I'm gonna take this giant blender brush and just really softly go over the edges and blend that out. I don't want it to be super diffused or super blended out, but I do want the edges to be really soft and there to be no harsh lines. So that's why I'm using the big brush, and I'm just gonna be really, really careful with how I am blending. This might take me a little while. Okay, we're pretty well blended out there. Let's start lining. So I'm gonna use gel liner today. I'm gonna do my liner in phases. I'm gonna start just by drawing a little wing on the outside corner. And her wing goes pretty straight out this way. So I'm gonna focus on doing it quite straight. I feel like we have quite similarly shaped eyes. Okay, and then once I have my little wing drawn on there, I'm going to go ahead and just extend that line all the way across my lid to the inner corner of my eye. Just like that. And then we're gonna repeat on the other side. Okay, I'm pretty happy with those actually. This eye ended up a little bit thinner than this eye, especially on this inner part, so I really want them to be even, so I'm just gonna go ahead and thicken this up a little bit here. Just like a tiny bit. The reason I did my eyes first is for this next step, I'm gonna take a black eyeshadow. I'm gonna start on this little definer brush, and I'm gonna start to smoke that out. First, I'm gonna set the liner with the powder, and then I'm gonna slowly start to kind of go back and forth and make it a little bit more smoky and blended. Okay, and then I just want it to be really black right up against the lashes. So I'm gonna go back in with my gel liner and just go back over top, right up close next to the lashes. Okay, and I literally got like zero fallout from that black eyeshadow, which is pretty amazing. I don't even really need to clean up underneath my eyes or anything, which is great. I'm gonna leave the eyes alone for now. Let's move over to the face and then we'll come back and finish them off in a second. So for my foundation today, I'm gonna go in with the Dior Forever. I feel like it's a nice sort of satin finish. Her makeup doesn't look super glowy or super matte. She has that Gen Z thing going on where her skin just looks like skin. Like you can see a lot of freckles on her face, which I'm sure are added in afterwards, but I'm just gonna go ahead with this guy here because I do need a little bit more coverage just to cover up my acne scars and stuff, but this foundation is not too dewy or not too matte. It's just kind of right in the middle. Plus I think the color is really good for me right now. So there's a light layer of foundation and now I'm gonna go in and add a little bit of concealer as well. So I'm gonna conceal under my eyes here and then anywhere where I want a little bit of extra coverage. So first I'm just gonna use a brush to clean up my liner over here. When I was smoking it out, I made it a little bit too long. And then just clean up this side, get right tight up against that liner so it looks nice and clean and sharp. And I like to use the brush for this part just because I can be more precise with it. And then once I've gone in there and blended that out, then I can take my sponge and go to town. One thing I've noticed about this concealer is it's quite self-setting. So if you're the type of person that doesn't like to set your under eyes with powder, this would be a good one for you because it does really set itself more than any other concealer I've ever tried myself before. I still for sure would set it with powder. Like I would always set concealer with powder no matter what, but if you don't, this is definitely an option for you. My skin's been so good to me the last little while. I've been taking Balance by Alani Nu. It's a supplement to help balance your hormones. And I feel like it's been working so well for me. I just had like a tiny little breakout for the first time in like 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, which is, I don't know, that's a lot for me. A lot of time to have clear skin, and this breakout is like nothing, and I should be getting my period like within the next couple days. So normally at this time I would have like a full-on breakout, so I've been really happy with it so far. Things are going well. Let's go ahead and set that concealer. I'm gonna take a loose powder here. This is also from Hourglass, and I'm gonna set everywhere where I put concealer and then through the center of my face as well. So I'm gonna finish the eye makeup up really quickly before we move on to the rest of the face. So I'm just gonna go back into my two browns. And then I'm gonna wipe like the majority of that off because I just want literally the smallest little wash of color. And I'm gonna run that underneath my lower lash line here. This is the only little black pencil eyeliner I could find, and I really need to use pencil eyeliner for this part, so I'm gonna try and make this little guy work. What I'm gonna do first is tight lines. So I'm gonna add eyeliner to the inside of my eye on the top. Okay, and then I'm gonna line this inner corner of my eye, so come all the way down. And then all the way in. I'm gonna stop so that we can leave that little gap in the middle that she has. inside on the bottom over here. Same thing over here. And I'm gonna take this little nude eyeliner and we're gonna go right in the middle in that little blank space with this guy. And then I'm gonna take my little definer brush. I haven't added any black shadow to this at all, but I'm just gonna really lightly buff up against the black just to kind of smudge it down onto the lash line a little bit. Because it's gonna smudge anyway, so let's just make it intentional. Okay, and then I'm gonna pop on a little bit of mascara and lashes. I'm gonna put on a pair of these guys right here. These are Ardell Wispies, and then I will come back. Okay, so we're almost done with the eyes. The last thing I'm gonna do is take, I want like a sheer, yeah, so I'm gonna take this color in my little Dior palette here, and I'm gonna take, it's just like a really sheer sort of shimmery color. I'm gonna highlight the inner corner of my eye with this. He has the highlight kind of in here and like brings it down like this. So that's kind of where I'm gonna focus it. It's also just really subtle, so this is kind of the perfect shade for it. Okay, and then those are the eyes done. I love the way they came out. I've done this little like blank center of the lower lash line once or twice before, and I always really love the way it makes my eyes look. I feel like my eyeliner turned out better on this side. I'm happier with this side than this side, but it's okay. All right, let's do some bronzer. The color of her bronzer is quite neutral, and he's really focusing it here on her. Like on her temples. I'm gonna add a little bit of this to my cheeks, just for definition, but her cheeks are mostly blush. So for my blush, I'm gonna use this cream blush from Milk, and I'm gonna take it right onto my sponge. Go in pretty liberally with that on my cheeks. And she definitely has a cute little nose contour going on. So I'm just gonna take this contour powder from Charlotte Tilbury, contour my nose with that. Her highlight is like, you also can't really see it because he's taking the photo in natural lighting, but it's not super blinding or anything. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this highlight, which is pretty natural, and just dust a little bit on the tops of my cheekbones, and that's gonna be it for the highlighter. Yeah, really the highlighter is not really existent. I really wanna fill in my brows. She doesn't have a super laminated look to her brows or anything, so I'm gonna fill mine in with a pencil. And I'm just filling mine in quite dark because hers are quite dark. Like, her hair is a lot darker than mine, almost black, but yeah, just to get like the same kind of vibe, I just want my brows to be a bit darker than I would normally do them. And then I'll just set them as well with a little bit of brow gel. All right, so for lips, she has a really light lip liner. So I am going to use this one from MAC, which is called Oh Honey. I'm just gonna kind of blend that with my finger a little bit. Her lip is just a gloss, I think. Maybe like a super sheer lipstick or like a really lightly pigmented gloss. I think I'm gonna use Portobello Girl from Charlotte Tilbury, which is like this light pink shade, but it goes quite sheer. Okay, and then I think that might just be a little bit too pink. I'm gonna try and just blot off a little bit of that gloss. I'm gonna try this one instead. This is a little one from Dior. This is the Lip Maximizer, and I think it's just like the main color one. Minty. much better. I feel like we're almost done. I think the biggest difference between our makeups right now is the blush. I just want to add a little bit more blush. I'm gonna go in with a powder. This is called Sex on Fire by Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just going to try and add some of this just to kind of make it a bit more pigmented, and I feel like this color matches a lot with hers. And then I was debating adding freckles. I kind of decided not to, but now I think I'm going to. Like, her freckles are just so cute. So I'm just gonna use this little eyeliner from Charlotte. This is called Audrey. It's a classic powder pencil, so it's not super pigmented. Goes on quite softly, which is good. For drawing on little frecks. Does she have them anywhere else besides her nose? Yeah, she's got them on her forehead too. So I just use different amounts of pressure so that some of the dots are bigger and some are smaller. And then just kind of pat over them with my finger. Oh my god, how freaking cute are freckles? Honestly. So cute. Okay guys, here is the finished look. This is my take on Patrick Ta's makeup on Dixie D'Amelio. Is it D'Amelio? D'Amelio. I don't know. I'm too old. I love this. The only thing that I would probably do different is maybe my brows. I was really tempted to do the Glossier pen and really like flick them up and do more of like a laminated look, but she really didn't have that. But I think even the brows look good. Like, I think they suit the look because everything is so like soft and simple that having that dark brow really like is part of the look, kind of a statement. I love that little empty space on the lower lash line. I think it looks so cool in the eye. Oh my gosh, this Dior lip plumper. Like, I didn't really realize it was a lip plumper, but it's burning my lips. So watch out for that. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up so that more people can see it too. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!